Since the time of his arrest, Dr. Nadler has maintained that all 4 patients died of COVID-19 and that he provided excellent palliative care. We had stated that once all the facts had been presented, Dr. Nadler would be vindicated. The acquittals today are that vindication. And as His Honor said, the acquittal means that Dr. Nadler is innocent. It is important that the public and the families and friends of the deceased be made fully aware of the critical facts which until today were the subject of a publication ban. The 3 forensic pathologists who conducted the 4 post-mortem examinations are experienced experts employed by the Ontario Forensic Pathology Service, an independent government agency. All 4 unequivocally concluded that in each case the cause of death was COVID-19 or COVID-19 in association with other pre-existing comorbidities. A further independent forensic pathology review of the 4 cases was undertaken by the Chief Forensic Pathologist of Ontario in conjunction with the most senior forensic pathologist at the Eastern Ontario Regional Forensic Pathology Unit. Their conclusions, which underwent international peer review by Australia's preeminent forensic pathologist, confirmed that all 4 patients died of COVID-19. None of the 4 deaths were caused by the toxic effects of drugs. The prosecution provided no forensic pathologist, no forensic pathological evidence to the contrary. In addition, had the trial proceeded, the jury would have heard from an eminent Canadian clinical toxicologist who concluded after a detailed review of each of the 4 cases that the medications administered by Dr. Nadler would not have caused or contributed substantively to any of the 4 deaths. The prosecution provided no toxicological evidence to the contrary. The jury would also have heard from 2 distinguished palliative care experts who independently arrived at the conclusion that the sedative and opioid medications prescribed by Dr. Nadler for all 4 patients were appropriate for the treatment and management of symptoms in patients dying of COVID-19. Each of the 4 deaths was the tragic result of the outbreak of the virulent Delta strain of COVID-19 at the Hawkesbury General Hospital in March of 2021. It is also tragic that Dr. Nadler's life and reputation have been clouded by the innuendo of suspicion surrounding these deaths for the past 3 years. We'll respond to the appeal accordingly. You have to remember that the only ruling, you have to keep it clear, the ruling of which the Crown speaks is one ruling with respect to one expert proposed by the Crown. And that person was a hematologist, not a pathologist, not a toxicologist, but a hematologist. And in our position, Justice Phillips properly found that he was not a properly qualified expert to speak to the issues that were central to this case, namely the cause of death.